Welcome to Wednesday guided meditation session at Vajrayana Institute. I'm Wai Cheong. So we'll be doing two meditations together, of a usual kind of offering. And today I thought we will explore the theme of listening. Listening both in literally, listen to the sounds around us, the sound of my voice coming through the speaker, the sound made by our own body within. And then metaphorically, I'm going to invite you to extend this quality of listening, to listen to our own body, as in become attentive and be aware of the state of our body, the tension, the relaxation, different kinds of sensations at the different parts of the body, the feelings, comfortable feelings or uncomfortable feelings. Also to be aware of our own mind, the state of our mind, where maybe we're feeling a bit drowsy at this time of the day, sleepy, tired, or maybe the mind is still fairly agitated, due to whatever is happening earlier on in the day. And especially when we are agitated, there are all these different thoughts that come up, all the thinking, and we can listen to them. Listen to what am I going on and on about, which is a very different experience compared to what we normally do, is to be involved, to be caught up in those thoughts. It's the comparison of getting on the train and riding the train, being taken by the train, in this case, the train of thoughts, to some faraway destination. Could be the past, could be the future, could be some completely to some fantasy. And comparing that versus staying put on the train platform, maybe find a nice comfortable bench and just park yourself there, and to be aware of the trains pulling into the station and then leaving the station, the coming and going of all the trains. So these are two different ways we use our attention in relation to thoughts. One is to be caught up and involved and carried away by thoughts, not necessarily a bad thing, because sometimes that's what we need to do. We need to follow the train of thoughts, to develop a certain idea and to explore. But there's one way we use our attention in relation to thoughts, and the other way is what I'm calling listening to our thoughts. Stay put on this metaphorical bench on the platform, the train platform. So stay put here and be aware of the coming and going of the different trains of thoughts, and to be able to see what are they about, where are they leading. So these are two different mode of attending to thoughts. And this is the main theme we're going to explore. First, in relation to cultivating calm abiding meditation. And second, in relation to cultivating mindfulness. So let's start with calm abiding. I'm going to invite you, after we settle into a suitable posture, I'm going to invite you to listen. To listen in the literal sense simply requires to just stop what we are doing. Instead of being busy doing something else, just stop or pause. And also likewise, for the mind, also need to pause. Instead of being busy, caught up in thinking about the past or the future, we need to temporarily put that aside, return our full attention to here and now, so that we are receptive, that we are open and aware, and so that we can receive the sound, we become aware of the sounds in the surrounding. And so that is how we start. We start with listening to sound, and then I'm going to invite you to, and since whenever I lead this meditation, for some bizarre reason, everything just sort of falls silent. There's not much sound to listen to. So I have this on my phone. I have a kind of timer that will produce some chimes, bell sound, two sets of them, 5 rings per set with a 1 minute or so pause in between. So I will start the session with that sound. So to invite you to listen and to let the sounds of the bell come into your awareness. And just to be present here and without entering into too much judgment or discussion about the sound, just to receive and listen to the sound. And bring that same quality of attention and listen to the body. I would invite you to go through very briefly the whole body from crown to feet, but in a listening mode, listening to what the different parts of our body have to say to us in this session. Of course, the body will not talk, but it say to us through the different experience of tension and relaxation, tightness, looseness, heaviness, lightness, through feelings, comfortable feelings, uncomfortable feelings. And then by extension, beyond the body, to also listen to the feelings, especially when pleasant feelings arise as a part of our meditation. Why not welcome them in, allow them to come fully into one's awareness. And then subsequently also to listen to our own mind and the activities of our mind, especially if we are thinking, we can listen and say, oh, what am I thinking about? Yeah. So in so doing, you may find that this way of meditating can help to shift our attention out of our usual mode of functioning into something much more spacious, open, much more present and aware. And that might be conducive to the settling down, the calming of our own body and mind. So we can give that a try. So I invite you to start by finding a suitable posture for yourself in this session. Feel free to sit on a chair, which is a wonderful way of meditating. You can sit on the floor if you are used to it. You know you are comfortable. You'll be comfortable in the cross-leg posture. You can also lie down on your back in the supine position if that's helpful. In whichever posture we adopt, try to have your back, your spine in a natural, comfortable position. Make sure that the posture does not introduce unnecessary pain or discomfort into any part of your spine. Good to rest the hands and arms on some kind of physical support. Sitting, we can rest in the lap or on the knees. Lying down, we can place our arms slightly away from the body, but on the floor or whatever support you're on. As for the eyes, quite often I suggest people they can simply close their eyes, or if you are used to meditating with the eyes open, that is also perfectly fine. So take a few moments at the beginning of this meditation just to allow the body to adjust, to find its way into the posture. And what we want to do at the beginning is to reassure our body that this posture that we have adopted is something very stable, firm, and solid, and that the body can be reassured that it is well supported, well balanced, and safe in this posture. We do so in order to catalyze a process of release, of letting go, where the body automatically starts to loosen up, to unwind, to let go of some of those unnecessary contractions and tightenings, and allow itself to settle down and be more and more comfortable in this posture. Next, I'm going to invite you, while in this posture, to see if you can just listen without the need to do anything. Just be present, open, receptive, and listen to the sound of the bells. And in the pause between the two sets of bells, see if you can be receptive and listen to the sounds in your surrounding, the sounds of my voice. Just be here and now, be aware of the sounds. So listening, being present, open and still, and simply allow the sounds to reverberate in space, to arrive at your ears, into your awareness. Throughout the meditation, you can think of the sounds as a reminder, inviting our attention to come back here and now, to just be here and be that listening space, to welcome the sounds, to be aware of them, without the need to comment on them, to judge them as good or bad. And likewise, we can bring that same quality of listening, or we can invite into this listening aware space of ours, not just the sounds outside or inside, but also other bodily sensations, sensations coming from different parts of our own body. We can listen to them, starting at the crown of the head, without any effort on our part. Simply be open, receptive, and welcome any subtle sensations that may arise from the crown of the head, the topmost part of our body. Then all we need to do is to notice, is to be aware, and maybe occasionally appreciate what is here. Moving from the crown to the face, what sort of sensations from our own face may appear in this listening, spacious awareness of ours? What do we notice here? Are there tension and tightness in certain parts of the face? And if there are, is it possible for us temporarily to put that aside, put aside the tension, the tightness, and allow our whole face to just soften, to be more at ease, to be more comfortable? Listening, coming back to here and now. Allow the sounds, bodily sensations to invite your attention to the present moment, to be back here, to be aware of sensations at one face, to invite in feeling of softness, of ease and comfort into our own face. And also to be aware of sensations at the throat, at the neck, and how about sensations at both shoulders? Almost as if by us quieting down, by us being attentive and present, immediately without effort, we notice sounds, we notice sensations, such as those at the shoulders, tension, tightness, or relaxation, comfortable feelings or uncomfortable feelings. Can we simply acknowledge what is here for the time being? And into our listening space, we can also invite sensations coming from both arms. Sensations starting from the shoulder joints, sensations at the upper arms. Here, sensations could be the touch of the fabric against the skin, the tension or relaxation in the muscles, and subtle sensations at the joints. Likewise, sensations from the forearms, from the wrists, and sensations from both hands, and come into our listening, spacious awareness. Almost as if we are tuning our attention and listening on what is happening here. Coming back here now, listening, allow sensations from the torso, the chest, and the abdomen to come into awareness. And see if we can do so without any effort, without tensing up any muscles. Simply being open and receptive and just notice. Movements at the chest associated with the breath, maybe even the beating of our own heart. Other sensations at the front of the body or from the back of the body. Sensations at the abdomen, on the outside and the inside. Continue downwards into the pelvis. Allow sensations at the pelvic region to come into our listening, spacious awareness. Take note of the sense of weight transmitted through our pelvis onto our seat. And see if we can give permission and simply allow the pelvis to rest comfortably on the seat, surrendering that weight to gravity. Allow sensations in both legs to come into our awareness. At any point of time, if we hear other sounds, instead of interpreting them as disturbing or distracting, in this meditation, sounds become our ally, inviting us to come back here and now to our present moment reality. Now sensations from the legs to come into awareness, the hips, the upper legs, the knees, the lower legs, ankles, all the way to the feet. And as we awaken the sensations in both legs, we can also give permission to rest both legs comfortably on the floor or wherever support they are resting on, and release their weight, surrender that to gravity. So now that we have taken the time to listen in on our own body, the different bodily sensations, in so doing, we facilitate a natural process of unwinding, or releasing some of the unnecessary tension and tightness. You can also listen and be aware of any pleasant feelings that arise, feeling of softening, of relaxation, of ease, of comfort. Welcome that also into awareness and allow ourselves to enjoy them while they're here. So we rest our body here in this posture. We rest our attention, our mind here and now as this open, spacious, listening awareness. Allow it to continue to settle down, to become more and more still and clear and spacious. And within this listening space, listening aware space of ours, instead of rejecting or pushing things away, we can simply allow different experiences to come and go. Sounds, bodily sensations, tension, relaxation, different feelings, different thoughts. At any point of time when we do get caught up, get involved, quite likely with thinking in the form of judging, in the form of remembering, or planning, or worrying, and so on and so forth. See if we can step off the train of thoughts and instead listen to what our mind has to say, what our body has to say to us. So I'm going to keep quiet for the last few minutes of the meditation, allow you to explore, be in this spacious, open, listening, aware space. Okay, so there is meditation, starting with listening, and also bringing this mode of paying attention, of being aware, into our meditation. So that it's almost like we are listening when we are meditating, listening to sounds, listening to bodily sensations, to different kind of feelings, listening to thoughts, while at the same time allowing our own mind, our attention, our awareness to settle into this particular mode of functioning that I call listening. Is a kind of a state of awareness, a state of mindful awareness, a certain characteristic, which is what I hope to bring over from the actual listening to sound. One is this quality of spaciousness, which I referred to just now when I was guiding the meditation. I sometimes I call it spacious awareness, or a listening space. So what I'm providing is my awareness is like a listening space, not a reacting space, but a listening space. At least during the meditation, I'm willing to sit back, to settle back, to be present here and now, and to provide this space, or to be that space within which whatever sort of chants into the space I'm aware of, I listen to it, so to speak. It could be sound, it could be changing bodily sensations, it could be the breath, could be a certain train of thoughts, a certain story that I'm telling myself, or certain series of self inner commentary, who knows, or judgments, and so on and so forth. Could be not necessarily auditory, could be visual images. So I can also listen, as in be aware of them. Yeah. So listening is also a way of understanding how to be mindful, and in particular, so far I've been sort of introducing, or we have been practicing in relation to this acronym called RAIN, RAIN, which are sort of a good summary of 4 different aspects of mindfulness. Recognition, recognize what is the experience that is happening, for what it is. If it's sound, I can recognize, there's a sound. If it's a tension, a tightness, I can recognize that. If it's a painful feelings, I can say, there's a painful feeling. If there's a series of thoughts, I can recognize thoughts as thoughts. Yeah. Second one, of course, is A, stands for acknowledging. Acknowledging is to be fully present with whatever it is, and to accept or acknowledge it as it is, instead of sort of censoring it, or instead of prejudging the experience. So to acknowledge that, a sound as a sound, to acknowledge the fact that I'm anxious as anxiety, or if I feel very peaceful, to acknowledge that, I'm feeling very peaceful. So it's almost like calling a spade, and has the effect of prevent us from enter into denial, suppressions, and likewise, instead of immediately jumping into reactions, to just be present with it for this moment, for what it is. Today I want to continue our exploration of the third aspect, which is inquiry, to inquire, to get to inquire. In the case of mindfulness here means pay closer attention, to see the details, to be acquainted with the finer details, so that we really know what is happening. What is it that we are allowing into the foreground of our mind, of our awareness, and to really see it for what it is to inquire. Inquire allows us to uncover many things that we might have taken for granted, or we simply haven't paid attention to, and allow those facts to come into our awareness. And what better way, what better metaphor for inquiry as to listen. Just like a friend sit you down and want to share something with you. What more can we do other than to say, all right, I'll settle back and be open, receptive, instead of censoring or judging or jumping in. I can offer myself as a listener. I provide that listening space within which a friend can express what they have in mind. Yeah. So we can listen in that sense as a way of inquiring, paying mindful attention, inquiring. Hey, what is going on here? What is happening? We can listen to the body. What is the body trying to tell me through all the different sensations, tension, tightness, discomfort, or the opposite, relaxation, ease, comfort. What is the mind saying? What can I learn about my own mind? The different reactivities, the different ways in which I'm reacting to the circumstances in my life. So we can listen to the thoughts in the form of words, inner speech, thoughts in the form of images, visual images, thoughts in the form of a story, storytelling. Yeah, so, and I can listen. So that's what we're going to do. There's no different technique. It's just as what we have done previously, but maybe spending less time, with the body, settling the body. That's why we spent a lot of time previously, but more time just learning to get acquainted, to be comfortable, or just be here, doing almost nothing. We're actually not doing anything. You may come across as very passive, but that's not true, because we have to be alert and be aware, be present, to receive what is coming into our. We have no control, of course. One moment it could be a sound. So, I didn't realize it. Suddenly there's all this sound that I'm unaware of. Another moment might be bodily sensations, breath sensations. And of course, after a while, as we settle back and we relax, the kind of involuntary thinking process will start. And off we go, thinking about this, thinking about that. We can listen to that to see whether we can sustain a practice for 20 odd minutes, or just being here doing literally almost nothing apart from offering ourselves as a listening space and trying our best to see if whatever that enters into this space through our senses, through our mind, we are present here with them, and we are able to just give them our full attention and listen. And in so doing, it's a kind of inquiry, because we get to know ourselves better. We know the state of our body better. We know the state of our mind better. We also know, if we listen to the thoughts, what are we so concerned about? What is my mind so preoccupied about? What is it that I cannot let go? So that is what I mean by inquiry. Right? So I invite you to once again settle back into a suitable meditation posture. Take a few moments and just allow our body to find its way into the posture, to be at ease and comfortable as much as possible. Might be helpful to close the eyes, because that sometimes help us to listen better, because we are able to give our full attention to receive the sounds coming in. And I'm going to play the 2 sets of bells once again and invite you to just listen. In between the 2 sets of bells, I invite you to come back to be here in your own meditation. Be open and receptive, be aware and listen to the sounds in your surrounding. At this moment, the sound of my own voice, other sounds in your body, as well as other experiences. So resting our attention, our awareness here and now as a listening space. We continue in the meditation to listen and be aware of sounds, to let into awareness different bodily sensations from the different parts of our body, including all the sensations associated with the breath. We are aware of areas of the body that come across as tight, tense, maybe uncomfortable. And we can also allow ourselves to enjoy other parts of the body that come across as feeling very relaxed, soft, at ease, and comfortable. And as we settle back as a listening awareness, eventually we will become aware of our own thoughts. Thoughts in the form of inner speech, maybe accompanied by visual images, thoughts about the past, about the future, some fantasy, and thoughts in the form of some ongoing inner commentary or judgment. Can we also, just as we listen to the sounds in the environment, can we also listen as much as possible to our own thoughts and see what exactly our thoughts going on and on about. Coming back here now, we can make sounds as a support for us in this meditation. Anytime a sound appears in our listening space, it's an invitation for us, especially if we get caught up in thinking, lost in our thoughts, to come back here and now, to come back and be this listening space. Coming back to the present moment, listening. So often we unconsciously translate our attempt to be present and aware. We translate that into some kind of unconscious tensing of muscles, such as those in the face. So as we continue to listen, tune in and be aware of whether have we unconsciously tightened the muscles of the face, such as those at the forehead, or we clenching the jaw, or tightening the muscles around the eyes. And if we are aware of such tension in the face, see if it's possible for us consciously, conscientiously invite the face to relax, to welcome in a different set of feelings and experience. A softness, a sense of ease, relaxation and comfort into our own face. Coming back to the present moment, maybe invited to come back here and now due to the sounds in the surrounding, the sound of my voice. A big part of listening and being mindful is to see if we can listen and be mindful of our own thoughts, to inquire and to see what are the habitual thinking pattern that might be triggered in this moment, and how does it express itself in the form of thoughts, from inner speech, visual images. How does one thought lead to the next? And what sort of picture or story am I constructing through my thoughts? See if we can settle back, be present as this open, receptive, listening space, and listen. So inviting ourselves to come back here and now, be open to the sounds in the surrounding, or alongside the sound, maybe we are aware of bodily sensations, tensing, relaxing, pleasant feelings, unpleasant feelings. And also we can listen and be aware of the thoughts, the stories that we are telling ourselves. The important thing in this kind of meditation is to learn to let go of extra effort. Extra effort, quite often in the form of agitation, tensing up the muscles of the face. Deep down, we might be struggling to get somewhere, to make something happen. And see if we can, in this meditation, give permission to put aside this kind of effort. Instead, to feel comfortable of coming back to here and now, just to listen. And then finally, for the last part of this meditation, I invite you once again to come back to the present moment, to be this listening space. And now in a more deliberate way, tune in and listen. Listen to find out for yourself the state of your body at the end of meditation. How is your body feeling? See if you can recognize, acknowledge any pleasant experiences, and also unpleasant feelings that might be present, that might be here in your own body. So find out through listening, through paying attention, the state of your body at the end of this meditation. And likewise, we can also listen in and ascertain for ourselves the state of our mind at the end of the meditation. Listen and discover whether our mind has come under the influence of drowsiness, sleepiness. Everything becomes very dull, very dark, very slow. Or is the mind still fairly active, agitated, quite a lot of activities, mental activities, quite busy? Or we may discover on occasion that through listening, we help body and mind to settle down. And the mind becomes quite calm, still, and yet at the same time alert and aware and present. Okay, well, that's meditation. doing less and less, and maybe one day we feel like we don't have to do anything, just park ourselves somewhere, and literally in a park maybe, which is one of my friend, she likes to go to a park early in the morning, sit on one of the bench, and just listen to the birds, and then sometimes people start moving around, exercising, the traffic starts, so there's all this sound. And especially on weekends, you can hear leaf blower and the lawnmower. And the sound, it becomes a part of, instead of obstacles to meditation, actually become a welcome part of meditation. And of course, on top of the sound, then you become aware of other things. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much for listening to me and to be present here in the meditation. So I hope you have a good week ahead, and hope to see you back here next week. So see you around.